Welcome to the Metaphysical News Show. This is your host, Rory Colgan. What we're discovering today, or looking at today, is Hillary Clinton. She is, in this video, accepting the nomination of the Democratic Party to run for the President of the United States. What you hear often is that she is the first woman to be accepted in a major political party. Now, what they fail to mention, the commentators, not Hillary, so this is not about her, but it's about the commentators. What they fail to mention is that Dr. Jill Stein of the Green Party, I think, has been running since 2008, okay? There's a reason there's major parties. The Democrats and the Republicans have created very arduous obstacles to overcome in order for a party to be recognized. Now, if you have two bullies that equally share the power, you're more than likely not going to want a third person in, especially if that individual is going to want to reform in a positive way. Now, what you'll find in politics, from the metaphysical view, is that you have very good orators. You have people that will lie to you with a straight face. There's a reason why she's called Lying Hillary. There's a reason why Donald Trump is brought up to the likes of Adolf Hitler. And there's a reason why these are the two major party candidates. So when I listened to and watched her first few moments of her acceptance speech, it was a powerful moment. It was beautiful in a sense because there was a woman standing on that platform as if, dear God, it finally happened. And I think there was an empowering moment for women of all ages, which I agree with. And I think in principle, a woman president is great. But in practice, this woman is not good. Now, some of you are going to immediately dislike what I'm saying, but let me tell you a few of the facts. A few of the facts are that if she was anybody other than this person, or somebody less connected than this person, she would be in prison. Now, I also think that George Bush, senior, junior, probably senior too, but definitely Boy Bush, should be in prison as well for war crimes against humanity, for his debacle in Iraq and even in Afghanistan. And there's a lot of things unquestioned in the 9/11 report that he or his administration were complacent in, at the very least. So you can look at her and you can look at Bush, Republican, Democrats, both people that I believe should be in prison. So when I look to the Democrat and the Republican parties, I don't see a whole lot of respect, and that's my viewpoint, that's my lens. So you might disagree with me, you might see it, but the facts are the facts. We went into a war that was unjustified, killed 1 million Iraqis in Iraq, Boy Bush. That's 15% of their population. That would be a lot of people in America. Can you imagine that? No wonder ISIS sprung up there. And so the next administration continues, Obama continues the same basic philosophy of bomb the hell out of them, don't apologize, don't get out, destabilize. She did to Libya what Boy Bush did to Iraq. Women in Libya could actually vote, own property. They had the right to choose who they married. Now, after her involvement, they have gone back centuries because of the debacle that it's in right now. And that's what happens when you have the Republicans and the Democrats in office, is that you typically get movement towards the same destabilization, which will introduce some sort of solution in the future. But all along the way, there's death and destruction. And that is what is not being addressed in this convention and wasn't really addressed in the Trump convention. So if you listen to the Trump video, watch the Trump video that I did, one of his errors in metaphysics was that there's a universal law called cause and effect. Cause and effect simply says that the thoughts within your mind are the cause which then create your reality. So that's where I saw his weakest link. He was going to cause, he was going to make America great. He was going to be your champion. Well, that's great and fine if you're looking for a white knight, but it lacks metaphysical integrity. Now, what Clinton does in her particular viewpoint, she makes a mistake in a different part of the universe, and that is self-expression. So self-expression says basically that everything and everyone in the universe has a natural emanation, that it's just as true as the sun or true as the moon. It just radiates itself. And so a zebra, a grass, a rock, a mountain, a tree, a river, all these things express themselves. And that's also true for people. Look at that guy. He's expressing himself. He digs it. He likes it a lot. In any case, what she's failing to do is she says, you know, in the very beginning, thank you, Bernie Sanders, and we all need to be united, and it's so great for us to be in this position because we're here to move America forward into this potentially dark time where we might lose confidence and trust. And we're losing confidence and trust because the leaders don't listen to the people. And again, that gets back to the thought as cause, where there are people in government that want to think for you. And that's a huge problem in so many different areas. But that's Republican and Democrat. So what her biggest issue is, again, to get back to the subject, is self-expression. So there were leaks that the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, that runs this 50-state polling thing, you know, like the Super Tuesdays and all that silly stuff, where they poll Americans to see who in the general population wants to have some particular person run for president. Then you have delegates that then make their choice. Some of them vote very democratically, say, well, my district went 60% for Bernie, so I'm going to vote for Bernie even though I would prefer Hillary, or vice versa. And then you got super delegates, people that are basically appointed by the DNC to make a choice, and a lot of them signed up with her. But here's where I find it's really a metaphysical error, and that is in self-expression. Now, I know I've said that a few times, but basically what I'm pointing out is that there were leaks that the DNC was always supporting Hillary and always trying to obfuscate the true issue and trying to diminish Bernie Sanders and not really give him any credence. There's a lot of people that will even talk about voter fraud or suppressing votes or losing ballots in different counties and states that Clinton won that she shouldn't have won but somehow did end up winning. So there's a lot of corruption, and so this isn't just like conspiracy theory. This is literally the DNC emails. And so their head committee person, Schwartz, I think was her last name, she had to resign in the midst of this scandal. Now this scandal is huge. It shows that Hillary, this woman right here, rigged the democratic process. And if you listen to her words, they sound beautiful, they sound wonderful. In some ways I like them better than Trump's. But I'm not a huge fan of Trump or Clinton. It's the Clinton-Trump thing, you know? Point being, both of them are out of harmony with universal law. I'll leave you to decide which one you think is more out of harmony with universal law, but I think Hillary's by far outweighs Trump because she's only caused destruction in the last 30 years of all of her supposed public service positions. Now, you could find plenty of people out there that have benefited from her decisions, but I don't think those benefit the universe and therefore the world or the community. Because if it doesn't benefit the universe, then every little part of the universe is not benefited either. So when I think of this individual, you know, I don't think of somebody that uses the law of self-expression, because one of the simplest ways that we as humans can use the universal law of self-expression is honest communication. If she was honest, jump into a whole nother scandal. She was honest, she wouldn't have deleted 33,000 emails that now can no longer be requested through the Freedom of Information Act. So there's no accountability for her. And the director of the FBI just gives her a slap on the wrist because it would, I guess, it would get a lot of other people's hands dirty if her hands got dirty, because I think everybody in the government was complacent. That's the only logical assumption I can come to. I don't know that for a fact, but what I can tell you is that there are lies and lies and upon more lies. And if you want a politician that speaks well and continues to lie, ta-da! She speaks well. I like what she says, but you must, as Jesus said, not to get too biblical on you, especially for our atheist friends and our non-Christian friends, but basically, you will know the fruits, you will know the person by the fruits of their actions. You will know the worth of an individual by the fruits of their labors. And I don't see anything that is very good out of what she has done. Only crimes against humanity and things that should put her in prison. Or hey, I'm kind of cool with not locking people in cages. So if we're not going to lock her and Boy Bush in prison, then let's stop locking all of our other friends in prison for minor infractions, or choking a guy to death because he was trying to sell cigarettes, loose cigarettes, without tax in New York City. So like, let's chill out and not throw anybody in prison. Or if we're gonna throw, the you and me's in prison, then let's throw these in prison too. Anybody that breaks the law should go in prison. Otherwise we're hypocrites. Or nobody should go in prison. Regardless of what we do, let's not be hypocrites, because being a hypocrite is one of the surest ways you know you're breaking the universal law of self-expression. This is Rory Colgan from the Metaphysical News. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, like, and if you feel like donating, please go to innerhealthtoday.com and collect on the link.